Namaskaram everyone. Namaste Anandaji. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's lovely to see everyone here. Namaste Guruji. And we are delighted to be starting this wonderful event, our online yoga Bandhan, organized by the Gitananda Nada Yoga International in collaboration with the Institute of Salutogenesis and Complementary Medicine at SBV in India, and with the support of the Ministry of Ayush and of the Indian Yoga Association. We want to thank all of the partners involved. And personally, I am Yogacharini, Dr. Sangeeta Laura Biagi. I am absolutely delighted to be the hostess and the facilitator for today's event. It is with great joy that we have here our very own Acharya, the director of the Institute, and our own Guruji, Puduvai Kalaimamani Yogacharya Dr. Nanda Balayogi Bhavanani. So sir, namaste. Thank you so much for inviting me to organize this panel, and thank you all for being here.
Namaste, namaskaram, swagatam.
Swagatam. So the Voices of Yoga is an event that came up through the thought of shedding some light from these eminent speakers. I'll introduce them in a few minutes. What is the relationship between listening and using one's voice, the voice as an instrument, an actual instrument of communication, the voice as a metaphor for something greater, for example, the voice of the breath or the voice of the heart. And how do we bring this very metaphysical and high vibrational concepts into our everyday life? All of our eminent guests here have years and years of study, research, and practice in this particular topic. And they have helped and are still helping many communities around them, around the globe. So it is my absolute privilege to introduce them. You probably all know them, so it would take about 2 hours and a half simply to introduce the speakers. So I'm just going to do my best to give them the credit that they deserve. So hold on tight, take a deep breath, and take it all in, because these human beings are quite amazing. So our keynote speaker today is our beloved Dr. Nanda Balayogi Bhavanani, who is the director of the Institute of Salutogenesis and Complementary Medicine and professor of yoga therapy at the Sri Balaji Vidyapith University. He has served as a member of numerous expert committees of the Ministry of Ayush, and he's the consultant resource person for the WHO Collaborative Center in Traditional Medicine at MD NIY. He's also a joint secretary of the Indian Yoga Association and vice president of the Yogasana Bharata. He is the son and successor of the internationally acclaimed yoga team with Yoga Maharishi Dr. Swami Gitananda Giri Guru Maharaj and Yogacharini Kalaimamani Amaji Meenakshi Devi Bhavanani. Our beloved Dr. Anandaji has received many awards, and he has published dozens, thousands, millions of articles, videos, compilations, and is a recognized PhD guide, and was awarded the Puduvai Kalaimamani by the government of Pondicherry in 2016, and is the honorary advisor to International Association of Yoga Therapists and Gitananda Yoga Associations worldwide. Of course, we also know that Dr. Anandaji is truly a beloved guide, a spiritual guide for many people. During COVID, Dr. Anandaji decided to bring the tradition of Gitananda Yoga online more than it was before, and has, taken on this boat of sadhana with him, many of us, reaching people around the globe and helping many people overcome a sense of isolation, frustration, and fear during COVID. So thanks to Dr. Anandaji, we are here as a Sangha. Our Sanghas were there before. The Gitananda Sangha, the Rishi Culture, Ashtanga Yoga Sangha were there before, because Swamiji and Ammaji curated that worldwide. But it is truly thanks to you, sir, that we are here being able to share on the Zoom womb. So thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Anandaji.
you. Thank you so much, Sangeeta, for that kind introduction. And before, you go on to introduce others, I just wanted to say that Swamiji and Ammaji were definitely better than me at bringing people together because they brought all the 5 koshas together. I seem to bring 4 koshas together, but not the Annamaya kosha as much. So we get a lot of Pranamaya, Vijnanamaya, Manomaya, and Anandamaya through Zoom, Womb. But the Annamaya, I think in that way, Swamiji and Ammaji were true maestros of unification as a Sangha. So my frustrations to Swamiji and Amma, who continue to guide us to come together for the sake of yoga.
Yes. Thank you, sir. So absolutely, yes. Thank you very much. So we will continue on, and I would like to introduce next Yogacharya Joseph Lepage. Joseph is connecting with us from Brazil. Bom dia, bem-vindo, obrigada, and thank you for being here. Joseph founded Integrative Yoga and Integrative Yoga Therapy in 1993 and is a pioneer in the field of yoga therapy training programs. He began teaching yoga therapy in hospital settings in 1995 and continues up to the present as director of the Healthy Heart program, which conducts yoga therapy group programs in public health settings in Brazil. Joseph has been a speaker at major conferences including the Yoga Journal, the International Association of Yoga Therapists, and Kripalo Yoga Teachers Association, the International Association of Yoga and Ayurveda, and many others. He is co-founder and director of the Enchanted Mountain Yoga Center in Garopaba, Brazil, one of the largest yoga retreat centers in the entire South America. He is the co-author of the book Yoga Toolbox for Teacher and Students, one of the most widely used materials in teacher training programs in the US and in Brazil, published by Integrative Yoga. He is the co-author of the book Mudras for Healing and Transformation, also published by Integrative Yoga. So it's a real wonderful opportunity to welcome you. I had the privilege, thanks to Dr. Anandaji, to be able to meet Joseph in person in Brazil. And I can attest to the amazing sattvic environment, talking about bringing together all of the koshas. Dr. Anandaji, truly, Enchanted Mountain has manifested this through the efforts of Joseph and of course the team who is there with Joseph. So many congratulations and thank you for rippling out this amazing healing energy from your center, Joseph.
You need to make him co-host and allow him to unmute.
Sure. The other co-organizers can also...
And all with the blessings of Dr. Ananda.
Yes.
Namaste, Anandaji. Pleasure to have you with us.
Wonderful. So continuing on, we have our beloved Yogathilakam Professor Dr. Meena Ramanathan. Namaste, Dr. Meena. Dr. Meena is a professor in yoga therapy and the principal at the School of Yoga Therapy in the Institute of Salutogenesis and Complementary Medicine at the University Sri Balaji Vidyapith in Pondicherry. Her special interests are Divyanga Yoga, children with intellectual and physical disabilities, silver citizens, and transgender population. Dr. Ramanathan is a PhD guide and a recognized International Association of Yoga Therapists certified yoga therapist. She is the joint secretary of the Puducherry chapter of the Indian Yoga Association and the lead examiner for Yoga Certification Board. With over 21 years of research and practice, Dr. Meena has over 100 scientific papers, many abstracts, many books, many chapters, many copyrights, many compilations to her credit. A very prolific Shaktimaa. Dr. Meena has been recognized as a Yoga Chikitsa Acharya by the Indian Yoga Association and honored with the Yoga Lakshmi Puraskara for her contributions to scientific research in yoga and benefiting the community of women, senior citizens, and children with special needs by the Dhyatma Yoga Academy and Indian Yoga Association in 2024. She has received the award Women Icon of the Year from the Women of Substance Network for her outstanding contribution to society and for being a role model for women in her community, and I would add, globally. She is the recipient of Lifetime Achievement Award for Yoga by the Grabs Educational Charitable Trust in recognition and appreciation of her outstanding contribution to academic teaching and scientific research in yoga. So welcome, Dr. Meena.
Thank you so much. Truly appreciate, taking time to introduce. Namaste, Ananda sir. It's all because of you. All credits, like whatever I am, is because you are. That's it. Anandaji, namaste.
Namaste, Dr. Meena. Nice to see you after a long time.
In a Zoom room, huh?
It's just been 2 hours since we were at office, but it's a long time.
Yeah, I know.
We are also delighted to introduce Yogacharya Bharata Bill Francis Berry. Namaste, Bharataji. Bharataji is a spiritual teacher and the founder of Mantra Vijaya in the USA. Bharataji, or Yogacharya Bharataji, is a yoga teacher in the Gitananda yoga tradition and a devoted student of Yogacharya Dr. Anandaji. Building upon over 50 years of living the yoga teachings, his active yoga passion is to continue to learn, grow and teach with an emphasis on Antaranga Yoga as taught by the Gitananda Rishicultural Ashtanga Yoga tradition. Bharataji is also a priest in the lineage of Satguru Sant Keshavadas of Bengaluru, India, and Namadeva Acharya. Bharata's background, among many other things, includes 4 university degrees, 25-year career in information technology, culminating in 10 years at Dartmouth College as the Director of Management Information Systems until his retirement in 2002. I would also like to take a moment to thank you, Bharataji, for your innumerable contributions to the Nada Yoga lineage in our Rishicultural Ashtanga Yoga Parampara, and for your truly seamless and constant support, especially for me as the writer of the book, together with Dr. Sir Nada Yoga. So welcome, Bharataji. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Sangeeta Ji. Thank you, Dr. Ananda. It's always an honor to be with you and always inspiring. The exemplary quality of the Gitananda tradition is just so precious and so enormous. It's just, I'm so thankful to be a contributor and to be part of this. Namaste.
So happy to have you, Bharataji, and also Mandavi. A pleasure to have you both with us, and very special, great human beings.
Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
So much. And we also have our beloved Yogacharini, Yogathilakam, Yomachemmal, Natyamamani, Devasena Bhavanani ji. And Yogacharini Devasena is General Secretary of Yoganjali Natyalayam, where she also serves as head of Natyam and senior faculty in yoga and Sangeetam. She is also Yoga, Sangeetam, Sanskritam, and Natyacharya at Ananda Ashram. She's a qualified yoga exponent, Bharatanatyam artist, Nattuvanar in Natyam and yoga from a young age at Sri Kambliswami Madam under tutelage of her guru, Ammaji, Yogacharini Puduvai Kalaimamani, Meenakshi Devi Bhavanani. She also trained in yoga under direct guidance of Yoga Maharishi Dr. Swami Gitananda Giri Guru Maharaj. She obtained a master's degree in Sanskrit from Pondicherry Central University and an advanced diploma in yoga from ICYR. She has completed her PhD diploma in yoga from Annamalai University, and her work integrating yoga and Natyam has received praise from around the world. In her career of nearly 4 decades, she has performed more than 500 Bharatanatyam recitals all around the world, including Italy, and she has more than 30 years of teaching experience in yoga. She was honored with the Yoga Lakshmi Puraskara in Bangalore in 2024 by the Indian Yoga Association in recognition of her contribution to the unification of yoga and Natyam over 4 decades. She was also honored by the SOMI, the Society of Midwives in India, as one of the top 10 women achievers in Pondicherry in 2024, and has received the award from the respected Speaker of the Legislature Assembly on the occasion of International Women's Day. She was honored also with the Natyamamani Award from Kalaimamani Rajamanikam in 2023, on behalf of Pondicherry Yogasana Association. And she was earlier honored with the Yogacharya and Yogathilakam awards. She has received Best Yoga Teacher Award by the TN Yoga Sports Association, Yoga Shakti, during Golden Jubilee of Anandashram, and she received the Isai Yoga Natya Natuvanga Kalaitudar, my Tamil is what it is, thank you for your patience, award from Kalaimamani Pulavar Pattabiramam, Director Valuvar Villisai Karur. I hope that's decent. So thank you and welcome Devasena ji, beloved Devasena ji, namaste to you.
Namaste, namaste everyone. Happy
Namaste.
day, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Namaste.
lovely to see you, lovely to see you. So we're going to begin, thank you all speakers, you're going to stay highlighted here. We're going to begin with our keynote speaker. Just a few words before we let Dr. Anandaji really inspire us as always, is a reminder that these Yoga Bandhan events are truly designed to bring different human beings from different nations, different cultures, different backgrounds, different life experiences together to listen to each other, inspire each other, learn with each other. It's a collaborative event to overcome any apparent separation between nations, between cultures, while preserving the importance of individuality and the importance of each culture. The Yoga Bandhan feature events truly aim at finding what brings us together as humans, and especially what brings us together in yoga, and yoga as a way of life, of course. So with that, I would like to invite our keynote speaker, Dr. Anandaji, to answer a question. We will go around with the speakers also, but I will begin with our keynote speaker, Dr. Anandaji. And the question is, when thinking about sound, sound health, sound medicine, music medicine, yoga therapy, and music therapy, all of these, we want to reflect on the quote and the teaching that Ammaji is giving us again and again, that the sound of yoga is silence. We would like to ask you, sir, if you could elaborate on the importance of silence, the importance of maunam, the importance of your own experience of finding silence through an exuberance of sound production, because you are a composer, you are a speaker, you are a teacher, you are a father, a husband, a son, and you use your voice so much in your propagation of yoga. So what is your relationship with your voice, and what is your relationship with silence in light of the quote and the teaching by Ammaji? Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta, for taking up this great responsibility of bringing us all together in this Yoga Bandhan. I congratulate you on this effort. And when the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, decided to create 10 signature events for this IDY, one of the events is the Yoga Bandhan. And I was approached by the ministry to, bring together people from across the planet. And I said, well, I will do the best. And so we ended up having 5 very amazing events, including today's event. The word bandhan means to bind together. And you can either think of it as bondage or as an opportunity for liberation. In fact, the same mind that can bind us can also liberate us is one of the great teachings. Manayeva Manushyanam Bandhakarana Mokshaye in our culture. I'm so happy that we have the most amazing panel today with teachers who are leaders in the field for excellence. Anandaji, Bharataji, Dr. Meena, Sangeeta, and my dear Devasena. Every one of you is a living role model of what yoga can be when lived as a 24-hour sadhana. You are not just teachers, you are embodiments of yoga. Ammaji, our living Siddha of Puducherry, who continues to bless us by her presence and manifests the radiance of a samadhi state every day in such a beautiful way. Many years ago, Ammaji said, the sound of yoga is silence. And this was a very difficult lesson for me because being a three Dharma Marga, I like to express myself very passionately, very loudly, abundantly, and in an entertaining way. I often say Dr. Ananda doesn't offer any guarantee on enlightenment, but he offers guarantee on entertainment. So I'll keep you entertained. Whether you will get enlightened or not, well, that, as they say, Ram Bharosa depends on the divine. Or as the Muslims say, Inshallah, Allah willing. Divine willing, that will happen. Ishvara Kripa, as we call it. Guru Kripa and the Ashirvad. When we talk about sound, we think of loudness as sound. And in Tamil, we have a word sattam. Now, sattam is the equivalent of shabda in Sanskrita. But it's called sattam. And normally in Tamil, if you say sattam, it means noise. Sattam podade means don't make noise. So sattam, shabda, became sound, which became something that had to be loud enough to be perceived by the human ear. Please understand, the human ear is very limited. 20 to 20,000 hertz is our hearing capacity. Frequencies lower than 20 and above 20,000, we just don't hear. And most of us, even that we are losing because our hearing is so bad. So 20 to 20,000 is the best of all human hearing. And yet, we believe our senses. So we say, if I don't hear it, it doesn't exist. If I don't see it, it doesn't exist. If I don't feel it, it doesn't exist. Your senses are liars. But we want to be overpowered by a sensory experience. And so for us, Shabda seems to be sound that is so loud that it will have an impact on us. But actually, Shabda is the most refined universal vibration. It is the nada itself. And nada is pure vibration. There is a type of yoga called Shabda Yoga, Surat Shabda Yoga, where they try to attune to that pure vibrational essence of the universe. It's a peak of the Nada Yoga experience. That universal vibration is way beyond our human capacity to perceive it as sound. So often you find people saying, here is a recording of the sun making the sound Om. The sun doesn't say Om, okay? Shiva is not sitting there saying Om, 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 like we show in all our Indian soap operas and videos. The sound of the cosmos is in such a frequency, the human ear cannot perceive it. That is why it is nirguna. We can only perceive that which is saguna, that which is tinged with attributes, that which is colored and embellished by attributes is what we perceive. The pure sound, the pure tone cannot be perceived by the human ear. Now, another meaning of sound is wellness. When you say sound health, are you in sound health? Are you well? And what do you mean by wellness? That is my keynote for SITA for the IAYT next week. Moving from illness to wellness through yoga chikitsa. So I don't want to give too much of that away. Wellness is a sense of wholesomeness. So when you have a wholesomeness, you are in sound health. You are in tune with the cosmic vibration because Purnam is manifesting wholesomeness. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. That Purnam or wholesomeness is the state of perfect health. Now, another very common statement in India that has gone abroad is empty vessels make lot of noise. And we say, Nirai Kudam Tadumbad. The pot that is full will not make any noise. And it means the people who really know will never go around saying, I know, I know, I know. If somebody goes around saying, I know it all, it means they know nothing. Because the empty pot makes the most noise. So the ones who are advertising the most that they are enlightened are most probably the least enlightened of all. The enlightened one doesn't have to say, I am enlightened, because there's no more I there. Same thing with knowledge. The more you gain in knowledge, the more your life experience converts that knowledge into wisdom. And the more your sadhana enables you to move from jnana, from vidya, knowledge, to jnana, wisdom, to prajna, which is the cosmic wisdom, the wisdom of the universe. Once you get up there, there's no sound anymore. There's no noise anymore. Because you have attuned with the vibration. The state of yoga is a state of wholesome oneness. And in wholesome oneness, there is no duality. And if there's no duality, who is there to perceive a sound? And that is why Ammaji in her infinite wisdom has said, the sound of yoga is silence. There's no duality. When I speak, you hear. When you speak, I hear. Because there's duality. But in that state of oneness, who is there to perceive anymore? Who is there to hear anymore? Who is there to make noise anymore? Because you are at one. And that is why the master teacher, Dakshinamurti, sits in silence. Adi Shankara tells us, Mauna Vyakya. He is not sitting giving lesson after lesson after lesson with lesson plans. Sattam illai. Yes. Beyond it, he is in Mauna Vyakya with Chinmudra Ananda Murtim in the form of Ananda. And all the rishis who are in the state of Brahmanishtai, they have attained the state of Brahma, Brahman itself. They are sitting there receiving the teachings in silence. He is self-satisfied, Swatma Ramam, and he is cheerful, Mudita Vadanam. What a beautiful concept Adi Shankara gives us of that highest level of teaching is silence. The highest level of living is silence. The highest level of knowing is silence. The highest level of existence is silence. Mauna Vyakya Pragatidapara Brahmatattvam Yuvanam Vashishtan Devasad Rishigana Avartam Brahmanishtai Acharyendram Karakalita Chinmudrananda Rupam Chinmudrananda Murtim Swadmaramam Mudita Vadanam Dakshinamurtim Midhe. That silence is the state of yoga. That oneness is the state of yoga. And I'll end with a beautiful teaching from my music master, Kalaimamani Sri Ramanathan sir, who was an embodiment of Nada Yoga. And I remember asking him as a young boy when I started performing, we would have the tambura, the drone in the background. It is our Shruti to which we attune. And so that drone is there, you start to attune to it when you are singing. So your sa should be with its sa, your pa with its pa, your sa with its sa and all that. And one day I asked him, I said, sir, often when we sing, we go off key. We go off pitch, off tune. We go away from Shruti. And I said, sir, when I'm performing on stage and that drone is in the background, so much of noise. Because often our concerts are in the middle of the street. Buses going by, honking, honk, 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 rickshaw honk and all. And we are singing and performing in the middle of the street in Pondicherry. You cannot hear anything, let alone the drone. I am like, sir, as a vocalist, when I'm singing on stage, how do I know when I am moved away from that pitch, when I'm off key, when I'm off Shruti? How will I know? And he said, Ananda, as long as you are in tune with that Shruti, you will not hear it. As long as you're in tune with it, you won't hear it. If you have gone off key, off pitch, off Shruti, you will hear it for sure, because then there will be duality. You have gone away from that pitch. Because you have gone away, there is you and there is the pitch, and hence you can hear it. So if you can hear it, you are singing off tune. Stop singing, find that pitch, find that oneness again. So I would close here with this statement that the sound of yoga is silence, because the sound of oneness is silence. But this silence is not an absence of sound, but it is the complete wholesome experience of the vibrational essence of Shabda and Nada itself. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wonderful. What a beautiful teaching on oneness, wholesomeness, and also the relationship between vibration, sound, listening in yoga. How we are able to, through our body, truly, through our body, through our breath, to invoke within us certain vibrations that truly allow us to come closer to the experience of wholesomeness without needing to look on the outside for it. What a blessing that we have. So thank you so much, sir, for sharing the teachings with the Sangha and all of us. And I'm going to now invite our beloved Yogacharya Anandaji to share with us your experience of listening to the breath. Because, you know, you have so many years of experience with practicing, of course, and also teaching the practice of pranayama to others in therapeutical settings. So before I ask you in the following question, a more specific inquiry regarding the therapeutic approach to pranayama, first I would like to ask you, how do we listen to our breath in your experience? How many levels of listening to the breath are there? And what is the role of listening in pranayama in your experience? Thank you.
Sangeeta, could I guide us in a short experience to listen to the breath?
Yes, please, sure.
So, I would invite us all to close our eyes. and to visualize next to you a shelf. And we're just going to put our daily life on the shelf quickly. And as we do, notice your breath. So you've got all of your possessions, all of your material things. And just visualize a symbol of them, place them on the shelf. Notice your breath. Just thinking about your material possessions. And even though this is just an exercise, place that image of your possessions on the shelf and just let out a sigh. All of these material things which are such wonderful vehicles. And then all of our relationships, all of them together, the friends, family. Notice your breath. And just take a couple of breaths, thinking about all those relationships. Place them on the shelf. And even though this is just an exercise, notice that there's a kind of a release. All of these wonderful, important relationships, so key for our spiritual growth, and it yet also requiring so much effort. Letting that go. And then placing all of our work, all of our profession, all of our daily tasks and our studies. Find a symbol for those, place those on the shelf. And then just let go of them temporarily. And then we have all our beliefs about who we are, all of our roles, all of our opinions, all of our judgments about life, about ourselves, about others. Let's place all of those on the shelf temporarily and just let go. And we can even place our body on the shelf. Placing an image of your body on the shelf. Notice your breath as you look at everything on the shelf. Notice if there's a tension, if there's a heaviness. Notice the way your breath is affected by all the factors in your daily life. And now notice the observer. Notice the one who's looking at everything on the shelf. You're looking at your material possessions, your relationships, your career, work and studies, your beliefs about life, about yourself, and even your own body. Notice the one who's watching. And then try to place that watcher on the shelf. Try to place the observer on the shelf. And notice that the observer doesn't go on the shelf. Even if you place an image of the observer on the shelf, the observer is still present. So this inner witness is completely distinct from everything on the shelf. And then just leave everything on the shelf. Notice that everything on the shelf has a description of, I am an owner of this, I'm a father, I'm a mother, I'm a teacher, I'm a student, I'm an ecologist, I'm 5 feet 10 tall. All of these descriptions, I am always with the description. And leave all of that on the shelf. And just rest into this observer. And notice your breath. And notice that this breath is I am without a description. Allow for a very slight ujjayi, and allow this ujjayi to be so subtle that it makes no sound at all. It's the soundless sound of ujjayi. And allow each inhalation to say so. Allow each exhalation to say hum. And sense the soundless sound of the breath that describes our being with no characteristics. And let's deepen into that ayin. And notice that different from everything on the shelf, the breath is almost still. Even in movement, there's a stillness within this breath. Notice that even within the sound of soham, there's absolute stillness. And let's surrender completely into that stillness and listen to the breath that has no sound and whose movement is the vibration of the entire creation. Allow the sound of the breath to be silenced and the movement of the breath to be the vibration of the entire creation. And notice how everything on the shelf had qualities coming from the outside. Descriptions, relationships. And notice how this inner breath has qualities that arise spontaneously from within our being. And we are these qualities. And these qualities are the breath. And they are our being. And they are the sound of creation. And within that silent soham, we experience wholeness. We experience oneness with all of creation. And we sense the sound of the breath as love. Wholeness, oneness, and love as the inner sound of the breath. And we stay attuned to this inner sound of soham as we move back into life, as we move back into the body, as we move back into our roles, into our relationships, into our material possessions as vehicles vehicles for this Soham. In everything we do, in everything we see, this inner breath, this silent sound of Soham at the center of every word, of every thought, of every deed. This is the sound of the breath. Namaste. I hope I answered the question correctly.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we will come back to you, Anandaji, for another question after this first round. I really appreciate this, and what a beautiful practice. Oneness, wholesomeness, and love. Beautiful. These three words you used. Oneness, wholesomeness, and love is the sound of the breath, or is the breath. So thank you. And also, I really, perhaps just 1 second, ask you a question about what you said, because you, from what I understood, you said that the objects that we leave on the shelf are the vehicles for the breath. Did I understand correctly? Yeah. Could you just tell us how, because yes, we experience it, but often we see the objects and we see the breath separately, right? So the practice itself was a contemplation on how the breath permeates all. And so how is this glass an instrument for the Soham mantra?
So I think as we move through our daily lives, I think it's a question of always remembering what is the objective? What is our intention? What is our purpose? Is it to live in that world of outer sound? Or is it to use all of those outer sounds to bring me closer to this inner sound? So as I attune to that inner sound of Soham, so even if I'm facing obstacles and challenges and difficulties, so in any situation, if I can always return to that Soham and remember that this relationship or this material possession or this situation or this work role or any feelings or thoughts that I'm having, or whatever is happening in my own body, everything is there to bring me back to the sound of the breath. And that sound of the breath is the sound of the universe. It's this wholeness. It's the love. And so in any situation, I can always see what's happening on the outside as a vehicle to bring me back into my inner being. And remember that everything that's occurring in my life, it only has this purpose of bringing me back to Soham. And that as long as I'm in tune with Soham, I'm realizing my Dharma. I'm realizing my life purpose. I'm realizing my life's meaning. So staying in tune with Soham and allowing everything around me to be a pointer, to be a vehicle, to be an experience that takes me deeper to Soham. And part of that Soham is seeing the places where I've left the breath, the places where I've left myself. And to remind myself that all of those experiences of disconnection, they also serve to bring me back to Soham, back to who I am.
How beautiful and inspiring. Thank you so much. The amazing capacity that this traditional, timeless yoga teachings have to bring us back is truly remarkable. Truly remarkable. Thank you so much, Yogacharya Anandaji. We'll come back to you with a question. I think this quality of inner listening and becoming one with the breath and realizing actually that we are the breath come into the question I would like to ask Yogacharya Bharataji next. And because you have years and years of practice, and in particular, your practice truly revolves around listening, the different levels of sound, the different levels of mantra, the utterance of mantra from Pashanti all the way to Vaikari Vak and all of these, and particularly this capacity of listening deeply. So I would like to move the conversation from this level of depth that Anandaji has shared with us to you, Bharataji. What is the role, what has been the role of listening in your practice, and how has that impacted your life in your relationships, professionally, as a member of your community? And how have you seen people, because you embody the teachings. It's not just you study and then teach. You embody the teachings through your constant daily practice. So just in quote, of course, by practicing, how have you seen others being impacted by your daily practice through listening? Thank you.
Thank you, Sangeeta ji. And to address this question, I will begin by referencing the beautiful, powerful teaching that Anandaji has just presented to us, where he was highlighting a powerful method of how we can build upon this teaching that the sound of yoga is silence. The sound of yoga is inner stillness. We can cultivate that inner stillness through our daily practice. And what I loved about that teaching that we just experienced is that there was the reference to the witness, the silent witness. There's two essential points I want to highlight here. One is that we have access to that place of silence. We can cultivate, we can develop familiarity, we can plow the field such that it is easier for us to reach that place of stillness and silence in the midst of our busy lives. And how do we do that? The beautiful practice that we just experienced with Ananta is an example of something that we could do in our daily practice. And when we do that in our daily practice, we are strengthening our connection with that inner stillness. We are peeling away those parts of our identity that are not serving us. We are tapping into our inner essence. This sound of silence is an enabler on the path to become one with that inner witness, that inner Atman. This sound of silence is an enabler on the path to reach and become one with the Param Atman within us. We change as we develop that, as we continued with these practices day by day. In my experience, in my lifetime, during times of very, very busy, stressful work schedules, 40, 50, 60-hour work weeks, lots of stresses, I was able to cling to like a life preserver in the sea of craziness, of pressures in our world. I was able to cling to that period of 20 minutes, 30 minutes every morning of inner practice, and strengthening that access to that. And when we do these practices every day with devotion, with focus, we are strengthening our link. I like to say that inner peace is a learned habit, and it changes when we establish our identity, when we redefine our identity as in that place of stillness, as aligned with that silent witness within, we are changing our vantage point of perspective. We are changing the who we are. We are changing our experience of our own inner identity, which does not mean that we have to become passive and not engaged in life. In fact, it means just the opposite, because it strengthens our inner strength, the inner strength that comes from that tapping into that power of that inner witness and that inner silence. And the calmness that we can bring into the dynamic nature of a busy life, it strengthens our ability to engage in the highest form of behaviors, in being supportive, in fulfilling our obligations in our job place, our obligations to our family, in coping with the stresses that come with daily life, with an active daily life. So I see this inner voice, this yoga as the sound of silence, as an enabler on the path to that inner witness, that inner silence. So over the years, over the decades, as we stay with these practices, we are transforming our identity. We are transforming who we are. And that's as we remove those parts of ourselves that are not serving ourselves. We become the higher self. We align with that higher potential. We increase the realization of our inner potentials on the path of inner self-realization. And so in the workplace, a quick example, in the workplace, I was a manager of in a university environment with responsible for over 50 programmers, software developers, project managers. More than once, people would say to me, "How come you're so calm?" They would say to me that I make them nervous because I'm so calm. Well, I was reasonable. I was gentle with them, but we become the embodiment of the teachings, and so we share them through our behaviors. So I hope that comes a part way, at least, to addressing the question, Sangeeta.
Yes, thank you so much, Bharataji. This particular teaching that you shared based on your life experience, inner peace is a learned habit. I think I'm just gonna write it on a post-it and put it somewhere, because it is so true, and we know we're very fortunate in the circle, in the Rishi Cultural Ashtanga Yoga circle, in the circle of ISCM, and all of the circles that all of you are part of, that we are aware that this is a truth. Fortunately, we don't have to, be surprised by the statement. At the same time, how often we miss that, and we get back and get swallowed by the chittavrittis and all our worries, all of the kleshas they are very active. So thank you for reminding us, and we'll come back to you after to ask you specifically about a practice that is very dear to you. And so thank you again.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. I would like to continue on now with our dear Devasena. Yogacharini, Devasena, Namaste, Devasena. We have been sharing these teachings of silence and something that I have learned in the years that I have come back to the ashram again and again to listen and cultivate actually my voice, right? Because it is with you that I was able to learn Carnatic, the swaras of Carnatic music for the first time, as many students who have come to the ashram. It's part of the training of Ananda ashram to cultivate the voice. And the cultivation of the voice as a form both of pratyahara, because in the cultivation of the voice, we need to learn how to listen and also to catch, all of the times that we want to say something, we want to express something. So the Carnatic music, just like Bharatanatyam, cultivates the person and teaches them how to stop reacting, because you need to wait for the right moment, the right gesture, the right sound, because, So I wanted to ask you first, the first of the two questions is of a more personal nature, in the sense that you were raised, you were brought up, you decided to be born in a family that lived near a temple, and you were brought up with the invocation of mantras and shlokas, and you danced as soon as you could walk, just like Divya Priya, your rightful daughter of yours. But so the question I have for you is, what has the role of listening played in your life? When did you first become aware that you needed to listen, right? Because there's a specific moment when we become mature because we learn how to listen, right? So can you remember when that was for you? And particularly as a musician, as a singer, as a dancer, what is the really fine line where you are both performing and listening with your body, because you have to listen to the music as you're dancing, and also what is the relationship between listening as you are singing, which is happening at the same time? Could you just share with us a little bit? Thank you.
Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Happy to be with all of you. And thank you for this opportunity, Dr. Sangeeta, and I thank Dr. Ananda also. And yes, in my experience, I think, as you said, I born almost near the temple. We lived in the temple. Whenever we are building our own house or any repair work going on, we are almost living inside of the temple, one corner. So immediately that nadam first sound, again the melam was the traditional melam, the big melam they call in the temple. So that will be quite often very strong energy, and that sound I remember. And of course, when my father goes in the puja, when he is doing the pujas and he offers, so he's used the mudras and go, yo pam pushpam veda pushpavan brajavan pashuman bhavati evam veda yo pa mayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati chandramapa apam pushpam pushpavan brajavan pashuman bhavati. So when he chant, then that chanting itself, just you are just there, because that melam, always we say that traditional melam, just to bring you alert. That's very traditional, and that music is very, very traditional. At the same time, we say in the marriage also they keep the melam, so that even though people are gossiping or telling something, it's avoid. Those sounds they cannot hear with that big melam sound. So that's also one way they used, and that's also very auspicious. Mangalam we say, so auspicious nadam. So that was very strong energy for me, even when I was maybe 5, 6 even. So, and so slowly I was just trying to learn the mantras, slowly some mantras. Those days they were quite reluctant to teach just suddenly any mantras. Of course, my father was very happy and interested to put us in the Sanskrit school. So those days it was not easy to find. So still, but he managed to find the Sanskrit school, but it was not like a main taking main subject like that, we just learn the letters. So though he tried to teach me the Grantha letters, that I just tried, but I didn't really succeed in that. So then I had the chance to learn the Sanskrit letters also. But why I'm telling, he was interested to put in the Sanskrit letters, because Sanskrit letters we are learning the Devanagari, but the mantras they are learning in the, the Grantha letters. So, but slowly he was, whenever he is coming back from the temple, we'll be asking him, oh, teach that slogam, it was nice. So like that, we just sit and play with his lap and asking. So simple slokas, maybe they are introducing for us like Mushika Vahana Modaga Hasta Chamara Karna Vilam Veda Sotra Vamara Rupa Maheshwara Putra Vigna Vinayaka Pada Namaste. So just like that, maybe the chanting they were introducing for us. So like that, I was really interested to learn and go on. And of course, when I was maybe more grown and with the sounds, I was really attracted. And even when we are shifted to our own, because I born in the village, when we shifted to our own native town, but still every morning, all the temples will be playing the chantings. Like we had the Vaikasi month going on up to this week. The Tamil month, very strong energy with Lord Muruga, Tamil Kadavul we call, Tamil God. So with his, his born, star, Lord Muruga star is Visakha Nakshatra. So that's going on. I was trying, because Divya used to fast for anything long, but if she's busy with the internship. So I was just managing at least the chanting part going on. So every day, like for 21 days. So like that, the chanting was going on every they play in the temples. So we used to, hear that and putting the columns. So almost it will be going very strongly in our mind. Om to the pork, Balvine pom tunbam pom, Ninjal padi pork, Silvam palit kaditongum, Nishayum kai kodum, Nimanadarul ka, the Sashi Kavachandane, Amararida tira Vamarum Purinda, Umaranadi, Ninja Puri. So we will be just cleaning, putting the, cleaning the in front of the house, cleaning, putting the water and putting the doors and making the columns. But we are just hearing that thing. So I didn't start at the first actual, the Kanthasrishti costume, because some of the shlokas, as you said, once we start, we cannot stop. So that's the thing with the song, even once we start, we cannot stop. Even the talam, that up to the avartan, as you know, in the singing, we have to be continuing the avartan up to the mridang is finished the avartan. So we cannot stop in the middle. So just like that, we'll be continuing, hearing and putting the columns. I remember very well, I take the part and go to the temple, Shiva temple, just in front of our, very close to our house. So I go and take the water from the well, and I will be listening all the songs. They're very traditional, the devotional songs. Vinayakane Vinay Tirpavane, Vinayakane Vinay Tirpavane, Vedamugatone, Nyala Mudalvane, Vinayakane Vinay Tirpavane. I'll be going with my part, but I was listening almost, I was just totally involved in that, and my performance was going on in my mind. So according to the music, that's the way, because in the family, my father was chanting in the temple every time I hear, and every puja, and my mother will be singing every puja. She will be singing the special exact particular song for the each puja. And when she goes for the aarti and all, Varavina Mrutpani Vanaruhalo Chanurani Suru Sirabam Varavani. So as she goes for every song, for the every ceremony, every puja, so keep on hearing those songs, and she will be teaching my elder sister in the Navaratri time. Alaipayude Kannayan Manamiga Alaipayude. So my elder sister will be performing, so she will be singing. So the whole village will be in our house to see the Golu, at the same time having the performance. So in front of our house, so I automatically, had the connection with the singing, dancing from the young age, very young. And so it was really made me feel like my passion, music and dance in the family. And even though I was like moody sometimes, I just go and sit in one of the corner in one of the stone in the village. I'm not talking with anyone. So when the song starts in the radio, my mother likes a lot to hear the radio, the songs. So when she had the songs going on, those days, the film even have the nice songs exactly with the raga and the tune, I mean the talam. The competition song was for with Shiva and Parvati. So when it starts, சிவகாமியாட வந்தால் நடராஜன் என்ன செய்வான் நடமாடி பார்க்கட்டுமே எந்த உடனாடி பார்க்கட்டுமே. When the song starts, then I start dancing. So I'm not anymore with my emotion, moody or anything. So my brothers also will be teaching me, yes, she'll be fine because she started to dance now, so she'll be fine from this time like that. So it got in my thing like easily because as Amaji says, the dance will help easily with the emotionally, though it helps in the yoga with the pranayama and all. Very easily we can come out of the thing from the dance using all the navarasas like that. So almost I got it from the young age. So I was interested to sing and dance anytime. Of course, in the school also, I'll be giving my name first for any competition for music and dance. My name will be first given. Of course, I do got the first prize always. So my school was very happy and they organized for me the costumes and all. So that every time when I go for the youth festival, I'll be getting the first prize. So like that, I really got, I had the interest to go on systematically to learn. That's the time when I came for my cousin brother's marriage, I found Ananda Ashram. So from that time, I had the great fortune to learn under Ammaji and Swamiji. And so I took that thing. So, but the listening is, I found myself very easy, comfortable, and just listening. I can just sing, I can repeat the song, I can go on, any chanting, any singing, very easily. It was in me. Somehow, maybe my father used to say, because all from our ancestors' gift, ancestors' blessings, Ashirvad, Guru's blessing. Otherwise, we are not really, even though our dharma, takes our sadhana, brings back, but still with their blessings only, we could continue, I think. So my father used to say, your grandfather used to sing all the Tevarams, like hundreds of Tevarams he used to sing. So that's why you got this singing like that, my father used to tell me. So like that, when I was listening and hearing, singing, it was somehow easy for me. Of course, Ammaji says the dancers, they used to sing and dance those days. So like that, most of the time I try myself singing and dancing like the great dancers they used to do, because those days they didn't have. Nowadays, we could ask the musicians, singers can say, all the instrument people can go, the mridanga main thing like that. But those days they were singing themselves and singing. So somehow it was very easy for me to just take any song comes. Like, of course, even in the college time, when I'm in the tour for dance, we go for the north. They take us in the college time. When we went, the whole days, like we are going, we went to the Shimla. From the capital Shimla, every day we are going for the different village to dance, give the performance. So then the journey, I was the entertainment for whole group, because the folk artists also coming. From the classical, we are also going. So for the whole group in the train, I was that entertainment. Those days I used to sing all the songs, even from the film. I remember the whole songs, not nowadays. But those days I used to remember the whole song. So I used to sing and entertain them. Even though when I'm going, மாலையில் யாரோடு தனியாக பேச மையலில் கார்காலங்கள் வீச நெஞ்சமே பாட்டெழுது அதில் நாயகன் பேரெழுத மாலையில் யாரோடு தனியாக பேச. So that even though from the film songs, some of the nice songs, when I sing, automatically I just drawn into that character, how we will be thinking. So in that time, I don't really think about anything, any of them. So in the songs really merge. So it just pull me, the chanting really pull me very easily, any chanting. Of course, even the sellers goes in the street, sometimes I hear like a chanting. I have to really, I mean, I have to listen little more strongly. Then only I take like, oh, some sellers selling something in the street. So sometimes even that comes to me, my ears like a chanting. So quite often I used to think, what is it? Just selling people going, that even I am hearing like chanting. So that like the chanting is very strong and the singing very strong. And of course, I love to dance. So all come together. Of course, sometimes I do got the scolding from Amaji, you are not listening. I say, no, Amaji, I'm listening. So Amaji says, no, you are not listening. Listening is different than hearing. Like that. So I don't know. I thought it was very easy for me. I could just go on and maybe I was not aware that time even, because when Swamiji is teaching, even the Manmata Kriyas or when we are working, I mean, two of them together in the class with our friends, like Yoga Chikitsa, even I don't know that time when I was studying in the school, when I'm coming for every Sunday to the class. So when Swamiji is taking the Chikitsa class, and when he's telling the in the Pranayama class, I don't know even the Manmata Kriya or what he's doing with the when he's asking us to go the partner work, Yoga Chikitsa even. But somehow it was just, we are just there, we are just taking, and we are sitting in the satsang with him. So he loved to hear the bhajans and songs. He sing quite long, even one with one Shiva bhajan goes on. Shiva, 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 Shivaya Namo, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So those days it looks like he's going one bhajan even for half an hour for us when we are hearing. So, but still it was, we are there. Of course, the vibration, energy, it was fine for me every time whenever I was in the family or the temple. Of course, when I came to Ananda Ashram, so all it was connected and it was easy for me, but still that we need the listening. So we need to hear, I mean, as Amma said, not hearing, listening. Listening is important. Then taking to the mind. So Shravana, Manana, then we can really contemplate. I mean, we can concentrate, contemplate. So do the tapas on that. So Zamaji says, sometime when asking some things, so she says, no, I cannot just tell you, you can keep that like that. I have to really contemplate on that, so that we can put the even some statue, okay, we can keep dharma like that, something like that. She says to me, no, I cannot just say, okay, you can keep that like that. I need to really contemplate on that, where I can keep, which direction it's facing. So everything, as the rishis, sadhus, everybody giving the importance to the direction. I mean, all the things they are giving the importance to everything. So like that, Ammaji says, we have to I have to contemplate, then I can go where I'm going to put that statue even. So like that, we need to really go on that listening. I mean, taking to the ears. I need to cross the eardrums and going in strongly to the mind, manana, and nidhi dhyanasana. So that steps really help. And of course, we give the all the practices in the classes. I mean, the yoga classes, we go with the kids to make them all the sounds, the animal sounds we ask them to make. Of course, sometimes with the adults class also, they also enjoy. And so when they are making all the sounds, we are making them free to feel the sound it's going out. Then they are slowly coming to that listening. And then when we are asking them to go in breath, Mahat Yoga Pranayama, Om Namah Shivaya. In out breath, Om Guruve Sharanam. Into the Anjali Mudra, out breath. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. So that slowly after going, they are going, we ask them to go like a, okay, go like our bukash. So that they're going like that and going all the sounds. making the lion sound, going, they're making all the sounds. So they go and enjoy all the sounds. Then slowly, slowly, we are bringing them to the, okay, you can enjoy, go free and come back to the discipline when you say, okay, stop, now we are going to chant. So like that, it helps them a lot when Amaji work with the kids. The same way we learned also to make the kids, whenever they are coming in the camp, they'll be going talking like that. When we start, Om Hari Bol, when we started to sing, then automatically everybody just join. Then after that, no gossip, nobody is talking. So like that, easily we can bring back them to the chanting and the from the all the thing, the discipline, and easily we can bring them to the slowly the higher steps, so they can sit and concentrate. So in that way, it helps a lot. So that the way also to go more deeper, to listen more and make ourselves more quiet and calm. I think the steps helps a lot for us.
Thank you. Thank you, Devasena. This is very helpful. Thank you for all of these layers you brought together so much here. What I really appreciate, and I'm sure all of the participants here appreciate, is you have highlighted how when we are born in a culture that can be the culture of our own family, of course, also for you it was a local culture, but that this teaching that the sound of yoga is silence, meaning that there is no difference between a shlokam, a mantra, and your life. Actually, that there is a connection and there is a wholesomeness between your experience of the sound and the dance. There was no longer Devasena dancing or Devasena singing. Everything was the mantra. Everything is the dance. And how that truly is therapeutic. Because when that is therapeutic, as you mentioned, the moods have no space because they vibrate at a completely different vibrational level. And in the sattvic level, there's no space. There's actually no space for the low energy of the moods because that is part of the entire experience. So thank you so much for sharing that with us in our second round, second and last round that we're going to do. We're going to invite you to guide us through a bhajan. So even though the Zoom is not going to help, and we invite everyone to come to the ashram to practice the bhajans with Devasenaji in person, Shaktimaa in person, we will have at least a little bit of rasam of what that is. So thank you again, and we're going to come to our Professor Dr. Meena, particularly because Devasenaji mentioned the importance and the effectiveness of using vocal utterances and the nad and the shabda through the vocal sounds with children. So you are a therapist who has dedicated truly her life to many, many things, but particularly to very special children with very special needs. So I would like for you to help us understand how have you embarked on this journey of using the practices of Rishi culture, Ashtanga yoga, and other practices, working with children with special needs, particularly with sound. What has been your experience? Thank you so much.
So namaste everybody, a very good evening to all of you. First of all, I take this opportunity to thank the Ministry of Ayush for organizing something under the signature event called Yoga Bandhan, which has brought us all together, globally, connecting every one of us here. And it's so beautiful to be among all the eminent personalities here on screen. So thank you so much for this opportunity, Sangeeta ji first. And, like all the seniors have really given so much of insight about what listening is and what sound means and what is the importance of silence. There's been so much that has been discussed. But, like very ironically, the first time I understood the potential of voice or the power of voice is when, like in college, we had to go to NSS, the National Service Scheme, to different, institutions where we had to serve. And the first posting for me was in a school filled with the hearing impaired children, hearing and speaking impaired children. So when I went in, I was like clueless what's happening. There's so much of communication going on, and like so much of energy there. There's beautiful communication happening, but I was clueless, lost actually. Uh, the voice was nowhere there, but there's so much of like energy being transported and communicated there. And that was one moment where I realized how important it is, to have this voice where you can communicate your thoughts. Because unless and until you know that sign language, you will not understand what they are saying. So that was a very, very, I remember very vividly even today, uh, what impact it had on me and how I felt, the importance of communication, the importance of being able to understand somebody speak to you. That was, where the whole journey of working with, the children with impairments. My second posting was in a school with visually impaired children. So it's like this was one extreme where the communication was different. And there it was all sounds and, the touch. Because the visual impairment is there. So two extremes that truly impacted what it is, how the sensory apparatus is important to us. Are we utilizing it properly? Because this is what is feeding your mind. Are we taking things inside as to how it has to be absorbed and taken? That's some story. So the sounds, when I started working with the children with special needs, I felt that, like one look at a child with a special need, when they walk someplace, when they go on a road or, go somewhere outside, it's like people stare at them. They watch at them because, it's something unusual, the way they look or the way they walk, whatever it is. But people don't understand that they are being rude. They just stare at them. And, these children, they do understand that they are not like the others. They have something which is different, differently abled, though they are, better than us in many ways, but they do understand, but they do not know how to, reply back to this. They feel so frustrated deep within that they hold so much of emotion that they regress and suppress all this within. And that is why, like to seek the attention, they start throwing tantrums. They want people to, look at them, care for them, love them, look at me. So they start throwing objects at people. They start throwing tantrums uh, just to get that attention, because they don't know how else to release the frustrations that they are carrying. And that is where our tradition, Gitananda Yoga and Nada, the importance of sound, that impacted me so deeply. And I thought, like, I was clueless again when I went into the school where there were around 60 plus children, all, like with different abilities. Some were autistic, some were with Down syndrome, some were with cerebral palsy, and it was a mixed group. So what do, to get them all together? Because each one holds so much within that they are not able to speak up. They don't know how to express that. And then, there's sounds, all the letting go practices, where, like even unconsciously, subconsciously, we are able to get these suppressions, these, all these leashed up thoughts. Just let it go, throw it out. So the Nasarga Mukha Bastrika, that truly helps, and everybody enjoys that. Even in our conferences, it'll be like people will be, oh my God, when is this speech going to end? Do I get a tea? Are they going to give it with samosa? What's going to happen now? Is it going to end at all? There are times, and then you just make them stand or start shaking, and then hold and then throw, and you start seeing that smile. Okay, there is life in them. Till them, they would have been just, like this, and now some life comes into them. So the same thing happens with my divine children. I call them my children. I own them because they kind of own me. And that is when, the sound. I get so emotional when I start speaking about these children. Pardon me. Like this communication where you're trying to help them release, unleash what they hold, through one is Nasarga Mukha Bastrika. The other thing is when you go on the force, the crawling sound. You, like Devasena was telling, like all the animal sounds. It lets them release, all these unwanted emotions that they are storing. That is one, the sounds, different sounds. Whatever we are doing, I would try to inculcate or, combine a sound with that. Many of the practices had to be modified, and it was only by experience that it was built up, because there was no protocol that could be followed when you go in there. But now it is like we are building up slowly. We have something now, but still it's just an outline. So the importance is like, when they let go of all this, the research says so much of the limbic attenuation happens, because the limbic system, which is going on and on and on and on, like, the whirlpools, the chitta vritti that's going around, pulling you deep within. It's not just the children with special needs, for all of us, everybody. Be it a seeker, a client who comes to the school of yoga therapy, or be it anybody, they have so much going on, within the emotional, the circle. It's being pulling them down. It's just pulling them inside. So how do you enable them to come out of it? The nada, that is the only release. And the other thing, as all of them were speaking, listening. Just sit and listen to them for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Let them speak up. Earn that trust. Build that bond. The communication, like strike it. And then they trust you, and then they open up. Because otherwise, they are so tight. It's like so hard a nut to crack. How do you give them therapy? It's so difficult if they don't open up, if they don't warm up, and like if they don't come out to you, come out with their emotions, release what is inside, if they don't speak their thoughts out. So speaking, the voice, communication, and as a listener, you are observing them. It's a multi-dimensional skin when you are listening, because you're not just hearing what they are saying. It's an active silence, right? You're just sitting there listening to them, but you're observing them. Are they calm and expressing? Are they disturbed? Are they angry? Are they frustrated? Are they fidgety? Are they anxious? Are they speaking the truth? Or are they just, like whiling away the time? What is their goal? Because unless and until you know all this, with the children with special needs, we cannot, strike this conversation. It's by practice that you get to understand that they are enjoying this. So anything that somebody enjoys, anything which brings out the joy is certainly going to strike the chord, and it's going to be a pleasant transformation. Because the transformation needs to happen voluntarily, and it has to be accepted. Because if they do not enjoy this transformation that's happening, because once the transformation happens, you cannot go back. So if they are not enjoying this whole journey, going back is going to be, they are stuck someplace where they do not want to be. The pupa becoming a butterfly. The butterfly cannot go back to become the pupa. This is a simple example which, just comes to my mind when I think of the transformation, the power of transformation that we, we try to bring into, be it the children with special needs, or be it, a therapy session in at the School of Yoga Therapy. Any therapy session, anything that is therapeutic is supposed to empower the other individual, bring in that transformation, that, and what is it that they are seeking for in this? Are they ready for this? There's so much to understand when you are, that communication happens. And once the transformation happens, that's it. The magic is done. It could be through just one technique will do. You don't have to have 1 hour of, practice. One technique, just one. For a few people, I have seen that breathing in, let go. That's it. The magic is done. That happens with, the children with special needs. They are very, very happy doing this, opening their mouth and, bringing out that sound loud. And when we are doing, like some simple kriyas, like the forward bending and backward bending, you cannot say this is forward bending, go catch hold of your toe, you're stretching your back, the posterior stretching is happening. All those technicalities doesn't go in. So you just show that, demonstrate that this is what it is. So just go touch the toes and come back. So it's like a boating kriya. So how do you like make it lighter for them? In Tamil, we say, Adi Padi Vela Senja Alupirkadil, which means when you sing and when you enjoy that, you don't find any work as being difficult. So, a child who's very stiff, because these are children whose spine is very stiff, because of all the stiffness they carry in their mind, because of the frustrations and unexpressed emotions. So you have to be very careful to make them bend forward, and backward is much easier. So you go with a song, like, the boating song here in Tamil Nadu, the fishermen do it to not, have the boredom of, rowing the boat, which is difficult. In the deep waves, you have to go against the waves. So they do the song Elelo Ailasa. So one of the group will say Elelo and one of the groups will say Ailasa. So it's kind of a customary song. So when they go down to row, it is Elelo. When they come back, rowing, pushing, it will be Ailasa. So I thought, like, why not do that with these children? So when they are bending forward, it will be like I will say Yelelo, and when they all come back, it will be all of them will say Ailasa. And they capture, like how we say mirror neurons. You smile at somebody, they smile at you. It's like, the tone of your voice, they just reciprocate that. I would say, elelo, they would say, ailasa, elelo, ailasa, elelo, ailasa, elelo, ailasa. It's like, they just reciprocate the way. If I say, I can't hear you, and then the next time they say, Ailasa, and with all that noise. So these are, small things where the release happens. The power of voice. If they cannot communicate, you cannot tell them to just sit and listen. That's not going to happen with them. So you just need to modify things where it can, you can enable them to reciprocate what we are trying to do. So these are just a few things that I can just go on. I think I'll just stop with this.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for your work. Thank you for supporting so many human beings in your life. You continue also in your role as a guide, you continue to inspire students who then will bring the work to the community in a ripple effect that is ever expanding. So we really appreciate you very, very much. And beautiful explanation that you gave also of the limbic attenuation and how truly nowadays all of us really need this. As you mentioned it. And because emotional expression is not necessarily regulated in any way, I think there should be protocols for each community on how to regulate and how to express emotions, but we don't really have. And so many people are embarrassed to express their emotions, or they overdo it, and it's very, very, I think it's something we can think about also in our role as, whatever is our role in our Sangha here, to start with our own selves, of course, and to come back to the beginning, because I think what you brought now at the end, in quote, obviously, at the end of this conversation that we had, is the capacity to listen to ourselves, listening to others. There's something that is, in my experience with Nad Yoga, one of the, there are so many gifts that I'm grateful for. Truly, I cannot count them, the boons and the blessings coming from, Swamiji, Ammaji, the whole parampara, the Bhavanani family, and the Sangha. But one of them is the capacity to realize the connection between breathing, listening, and relaxing. And that they're all active, but they're all, in this homeostasis of the sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system. I had no idea before, but sometimes I find with my closest relations that it's very difficult for me to listen. That I want to call someone, I want to listen to them, but after they repeat the same thing for whatever reason 3-4 times, I get really impatient and cut them off, So thank you. We are 5 to 10 minutes into the end of our program, so time has really flown, and I want to say hi to Karen G, who has appeared next to Anandaji. Namaste, bon dia. And so the plan was is to have each one of our presenters to present a practice so that we could practice with them. We are a little bit shorter of time. I was hoping that we could have a good 10 minutes per presenter, but we don't really have that much time. We do have 2 to 3 minutes, which is not a lot of time, but I really wouldn't want to miss an opportunity for the Sangha to be guided by these experts. And by expert, I mean someone who is teaching by example. That's what I mean, not a scholar expert only. And I think it would be really, really wonderful. So what I would suggest now, for the sake of time and to be able to allow everyone also in the Sangha to follow all of the presenters in this practice, this is the plan. I would like to invite Dr. Meena to guide us through the Mukha Bastrikas and some warm-ups. We had discussed with Dr. Meena the Brahma Mudra, but I think we'll leave the Brahma Mudra for today. We'll just, with you, if you can guide us in a two to 3 minutes of just the jatis you were expressing, because I need to release the pent-up stress, not from the Sangha, not from the Sangha. So I think everybody else probably has a little bit of a share. So we can begin
So
with
I think,
Dr. Meena.
like I was saying during presentations, during conferences, everybody else, you know, we have to lighten them up to bring that smile. So can I start?
Oh, wait. I'm just going to share the plan so everybody else is aware. So we're going to start with you, Dr. Meena. Then I'm going to ask Joseph and Karen to share one more practice, because Joseph, Anandaji, you actually blessed us with a whole practice at the beginning. And so, but if you have one more practice, you know, to be mindful of our breath, and again, also be reminded of the power of the Soham mantra, 2 to 3 minutes, please be patient. I know these are lifetime sadhanas, not a 2-minute sadhana, but thank you for your patience. Then we can continue on with Bharataji, with whatever you think it's appropriate. Bharataji has an entire lifetime practice on the Hridaya chakra, which is impossible to share and understand in 2 minutes, but any variation that you could. And then with Shaktimaa Devasena ji, perhaps a couple of minutes of a bhajan for the Devi, so that we can, in 10, 15 minutes, have a practice that we can share then as a wholesome practice. So is everybody agreeing? Is everybody okay for the presenters? Can we manage? Thank you so much. So for this particular part of our Sangha, I am going to stop highlighting all of the presenters and only highlight the person who is guiding the practice, okay, so that the other presenters can be in the practice. So let's do that. I'll begin with my own self and then just leave Dr. Meena. So please be mindful of the time as you present, and thank you so much for your patience and collaboration. So let's go.
Again, you know, like I was saying, use of sounds, Nasarga Mukha Bastrika, which is like, you know, let's all, can we start shaking our right hand? Shake. The finger should not be visible. If the finger falls down, don't worry. We can get it fixed. Your left hand. Left, 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 left. Both hands, both shake, 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 shake. Shake it above your head. Look at your fingers. Shake, shake. Below, 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 below. And now, above once more. To your right, to your left. Just all around you, all around you, all around you. And go catch hold of all that which is bothering you. The negativities, the stress, tensions. And let's throw it out, throw it out, throw it out. So this same Nasarga Mukha Bastrika, we would also, as a part of therapy, we would use it, you know, like, for example, while doing the jatis. So the shoulder rotations. So as you breathe in, I would request you all to raise your shoulders up. And as you breathe out, you throw out with the Nasarga Mukha Bastrika, letting go. So breathing in, out, in, out. So this is, you know, just how do you inculcate this with the other jatis. The other one is, as you breathe in, take your hands up, interlock your fingers and give a good stretch. And breathing in, stretch up. Give a good stretch. And throw. One last time. In, stretch, out. So keeping your hands on your thighs, straight shoulders, right? Take a deep breath in here As you breathe out, you have to come out with the sound ah. Ready? Can you hear me? The ah sound
Yes,
when
we
you
can hear you, but
lower
can you lower?
your
Can
hand.
you lower because I don't see what your hands are doing.
Okay.
Ah, thank you so much. Maybe
This is better, right?
Yes,
So
thank you.
keep your hands on your thighs. As you breathe in, slowly stretch it up to the shoulder level. Breathing out. Ah. Breathing in. Out. Ah. The next is in the side. Breathing in. Out. Ooh. Breathe in. Ooh. And then now we'll take hands all the way up into Anjali Mudra, breathing in. Makara. Breathing in. So just one moment of silence, sitting quiet. So the nada coming in with the breath, body, synchronized movement, included with the nada, the akara, ukara, and the makara, creating a beautiful synchronization, a beautiful harmony, mind-body integration, the wholesomeness, bringing back what needs to be, repairing, healing, putting all the practitioners, bringing them into the Sukha Sthana. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Beautiful. So we'll invite now Yogacharya Anandaji to please continue our practice. Thank you, Dr. Meena.
So our practice is going to be transforming a problem in mental chatter into the sound of Soham. So we place our hands in Jnana Mudra and we close our eyes and reflect on a problem or challenge that you're facing right now. First, take it to your mind and notice the chatter. Let your mind talk a little bit. This happened, that happened. How could they do that to me? Then take that problem into your body, feel it in your body. Notice all of the characteristics of that problem. And let that problem talk a little more. You can even ask that problem its name. And really feel that problem. And let yourself feel the emotions related to that situation of anger, of sadness, of fear. Let yourself really feel that problem within your body. And then notice what you wanted to feel when that situation happened. When that situation, that problem occurred, you didn't want a problem, you didn't want to feel hurt, you didn't want to feel angry, you didn't want to feel afraid. What is it that you wanted to feel? And give that a name. Respect or love, acceptance, wholeness, caring. Notice what you wanted to feel. And let yourself now feel that in your body. Notice where that lives. Notice its color, its shape, its texture. Let yourself feel that quality. What is it that you wanted to feel? Notice that that positive feeling is not separate from the problem. That the problem really wants to show you that positive quality. And notice that that positive quality lives within you. Allow the color and feeling of that positive quality to spread throughout your being. And then to experience that positive quality as Soham. I am that. I am that positive quality. And every problem in life exists to show me who I am. Soham. Sense that silent Soham. And sense that everything that happens in our lives, positive and negative, everything exists to open me to Soham, that which I am. And receive deeply that Soham within your being. Namaste.
Thank you so much, really. Thank you. Beautiful. So we will continue now with Bharata ji.
Thank you, Sangeeta ji. The practice that I wish to share is a we call it a Hridaya chakra meditation practice, of which there can be many forms. But calling on one of the epic great mantras of this tradition, Aham Brahmasmi. This Aham Brahmasmi is an affirmation of one's identification with Param Brahma, with the great Purusha, with Param Atman. In Maharishi Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, in Pada 2, verse 44, he teaches us that through swadhyaya, through that introspectional self-analysis, we become one with our inherent divinity. We can unite with the divine. We can unite with I am that. Dr. Nanda has taught us that the moment we begin swadhyaya as a practice, as a daily practice, the Anandamaya kosha begins to open up to us. We have an access way to this precious level, this subtlest most level of our individual existence, the Anandamaya kosha, the causal level. So in this practice, Swami Gitananda taught us that among the many names of this Hridaya chakra, there are many names in various Upanishads throughout the classic yoga texts. Swami Gitananda gives it the name Hridaya Manas chakra, the hridaya, the heart, the manas, the mind, uniting the heart and the mind. Swami Gitananda teaches a practice of listening to our inner guru residing in this Hridyamanas chakra. Now, this is a journey of experience. It's not a journey of intellectual process. It's a journey of inner attunement. So among many approaches we could take to this practice, following some centered pranayama that would attune us to our inner silence, our inner peace, we would be chanting vocally at first, Aham Brahmasmi. We would chant that several repetitions, at least, perhaps 9 repetitions vocally, and then we would continue to chant that silently. With all practices of meditation, we set our sankalpa. So in this case, our sankalpa is our affirmation of the outcome that we seek through the mantra practice. So our sankalpa for this, I would suggest, would be we're affirming that we can reach that inner guru residing in the Hridyamanas chakra. That inner guru, that form of the deity of which has attributes that we can connect to, also referred to often as the our Ishta Devata. So we would set our sankalpa, we would face north or face east if we're performing this at sunrise. And we would begin with repetitions of Aham Brahmasmi, with an awareness of the meaning of this mantra. We would, depending on our ability to be comfortable with that inner silence, we can continue the silent repetition, Aham Brahmasmi. So let's do 9 repetitions of Aham Brahmasmi vocally, and then we'll take a minute or 2 silently, and then we'll call us to closure on it. So sitting with spine erect. Aham Brahmasmi. 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 Continuing on in silence. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. So, as a daily practice, we would decide on what length of time we would sit with this. Once a day, perhaps twice a day. It's through the repeated practice that this becomes potent. The potential is realized, the potency is realized, the journey of transformation is continued or is begun. So the three key points here is that there are multiple teachings in these great scriptures that can tell us how, and the authentic gurus and the gurus of the Gitananda tradition teach us how to get to these extraordinary places within this, to realize this tremendous potentiality that we have as humans in a body, with this knowledge, with access to these great teachings at this time. The precious gems of our incarnation. What do we do with that? What we do with that is we do to the best of our abilities. We learn from these great teachings, and we do the daily practice, perform the daily practice. And that's where the fruits come in. And that's where the journey of self-transformation leads us to the highest realms of existence. And that's where we thank our gurus by doing our practice and by realizing these teachings that they have given us. That was an abbreviated version. Obviously, you would spend more time with it. So thank you, Sangeeta ji.
Thank you so much, Bharata ji. And we're now going to move and transition into a bhajan with Shaktimaa Devasena ji. And we have a few minutes. I know the bhajans can go on for many minutes. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to keep it a little sweet and short. But because, of course, the bhajans, the effect of the bhajan is in time. So I know it's a bit frustrating, so apologies. But just to have a rasam of what that is. So please, Devasena ji, thank you. We need your volume. I don't know. 1 second.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So yes, with the chanting and the singing, we could, feel our, we can listen, as Samaji says, sit straight, be quiet, listen. So the listening, it was easy for me when we go, as Samaji says, the Sukhasthanam, Swarasthana Sarega Mabadani Sasani Rabomagaris Layasthana Takadimi Dimi Takata Dinginatum Ganasthana Sokyasthana Nadasthana Om 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 Swastyasthana. When you chant, when you call, Hari, 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 Hari Vithala, Jaya Vithala, Hari Vithala, Jaya Vithala. Ram, 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 Ram. Om, 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 Om. Jai Gurunatha Gitananda, Shri Gurunatha Satchitananda, Jai Gurunatha Gitananda, Satchitananda Gitananda. Om Om Durge, Dum Durge, Jaya Durge, Om Durge, Shri Durge, Dhum Durge, Dhum Durge, Dhum Durge, Dhum Durge, Dhum Dhum Durge, Dhum 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 Durge, Dhum 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 Durge, Dhum 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 Durge, Dhum 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 Durge, 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 Durge. Namostute, Namostute, Jai Shri Durga, Namostute, 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 Jai Shri Lakshmi, Namostute, 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 Jai Shri Saraswati Namostute, 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 Jai Shri Saraswati Namostute, 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 Jai Shri Durga Namostute, 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 Jai Shri Lakshmi Namostute, 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 Jai Shri Saraswati Namostute, Jai Shri Saraswati Namostute, Jai Shri Durga Namostute, Jai Shri Lakshmi Namostute, Jai Shri Saraswati Namostute, 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 Namostute. Om Durga Lakshmi Saraswati Namaha. Om Shri Durga Lakshmi Saraswati Namaha. Om Shri Durga Lakshmi Saraswati Namaha. Om Shri Adipara Shakti Amma Ji ki Jai. Yogacharini Swami Gitananda Giri Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Nityananda Bhavanani ki Jai. Om Gurubhyo Namaha. Hare Om.
How wonderful! That felt like a real blessing. Thank you so much. How wonderful. So, I want to, before we call back our beloved Guruji, Dr. Anandaji, thank you so much, Shaktimaa Devasena, for this condensation of vibrations that truly I felt like they were really cleansing me and helping me to just come to a higher level of being. So what I find to be particularly helpful is in the practices that all of this, Namaste Guruji, the practices that everybody has shared here is that one second, I would like to highlight, maybe Nilachalji, you can help me to highlight all of the speakers again, all of the presenters again. I would like to thank you all for being here because these practices are so accessible. From listening to the breath, to finding that silence inside, to repeating, invoking a mantra, to letting go through sound of all of the pent-up emotions, through invoking higher frequencies and therefore attuning to them. All of these are practices that we already have and can practice just by being. We don't need to purchase anything, find something else, go somewhere. Of course, everybody should come to the ashram, I'm not saying, but, and to Montagna Encantada, actually, and everywhere else. But at the same time, we are it. We are it already, and so thank you all for being here. Thank you so much, Guruji, Dr. Anandaji, Devasena ji, Ammaji, Swamiji, for inviting us to gather as a Sangha. The power of the Sangha cannot be underestimated. You all know, otherwise you wouldn't be here. But this practice is now, it's our responsibility to review them, look at this video again, and all of the other yoga bandhans, because the other yoga bandhans were all so useful, with Shailaja ji, with Anandi ji, so useful. And so even with this, to just incorporate them into our daily life, we have so many riches already at our disposal. And so thank you all so much. And sir, if you would like to close this beautiful gathering with us, for us, it would be a real privilege.
It has just been a very, very special, very enjoyable 2.5 hours listening to everyone. I've been enjoying all the sharing, and I think what really strikes me when I listen to all of us is that it is all coming from a place of deep experience. This is not some theory that has been read in a book and is being expressed. It is not somebody else's words that are being rehashed, but it is a personal experience that each one is sharing from the heart. And hence it is a lived experience, and hence it becomes very, very valuable. We can find a lot of information today, but we cannot find experiential sharing today. It is at a premium. And to have sessions like this Yoga Bandhan, where the highest level of premium teachings were shared in such simple, accessible, digestible form. I think this is something that Swamiji and Ammaji would be very proud of all of us. So thank you, Sangeeta, for putting it together. Thank you, Anandaji, Bharata, Dr. Meena, and Shaktimaa, Devasena, for being part of this event. Thanks to the Ministry of Ayush for giving us the idea of the Yoga Bandhan and giving us a chance to serve our Divine Mother Yoga through such offerings. That I think, Jai Ma Yoga is a definite war cry that can resonate across the world these days. So remember, June 21 is the International Day of Yoga. Lot of events leading up to it, and hope to see you all in many of the events. The government of India is hoping to have 100,000 venues where the yoga protocol is going to be done on 21st of June. 100,000 venues. And we have gone past about 65,000 to the best of my knowledge already. We still need another 35,000. So people can still sign up on their website to organize a yoga sangam. And I'm looking forward to this because never before in the history, recent history, has yoga and proponents of yoga been given such respect and place in the sun. This is because of our beloved Prime Minister Modi ji. And I think the whole yoga community owes him a lot for that. That today, to say that I am part of the yoga family is respected worldwide. So let us keep working on our sadhana. Let us keep sharing these beautiful experiences, and may we always grow and glow together with the divine blessings of our beloved Mother Yoga. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Hari Om Tat Sat, sir. Thank you so much. Would you like with Devasena ji to close with the Loka Samasta, please? And thank you.
Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti 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 Om.
I would like to give an opportunity for all our participants to just say hello. So we are going to give you an option that you can unmute yourself and just say hi before we all close. So you have the option to unmute and say a word now, giving you that option.
Thank you.
Pranam Guruji. Pranam Shaktimaa. Pranam to everyone. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for wonderful lectures.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
We
Thank
are
you.
blessed.
Grazie mille.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Dhanyavad, Nandri, Vanakkam.
Vanakkam. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Meena and Anandaji. Thank you so much, Bharata ji. Thank
Thank
you all
you.
for being here. Thank you.